what do you think HR leaders need to be thinking about most in the next, say, 12 to 24 months? And related to that, what would be your biggest concern and what do you see as the biggest opportunity?
Yes, I'm going to recycle from my answer when you kindly asked me, I think at the end of last year, and you were curating the big trends for this year. I'm going to recycle that because I think that's the one that keeps me up at night and would certainly keep me up at night if I were a CHRO and an HR leader, which is really how to humanize the workplace and how to not just understand the impact, both positive and negative, of all these technologies which are growing and spreading and accelerating, if not exponentially, incrementally, which is still enough. How to cultivate and create environments in which we don't see people as high-performing machines, but we see people as humans. And so injecting a much needed dose of humanity in the workplace, while of course not sacrificing or compromising productivity and all the things that businesses need to do, especially at a time when they're under pressure. And what the potential risks or challenges are of this is that, much like anybody else in an organization, HR professionals are being regarded as productivity machines themselves, and they have scorecards and they have KPIs, and I'm sure most of them are not humanized work or create environments where we treat people as human beings. But I think fundamentally the trend we have seen over the past 10 or 15 years to focus less on the what and more on the how is now being extended to maybe, really understand that there isn't a tension between the two, and that the best way to focus on the how is to humanize work and create humane relationships with people. If you do that, then the what will take care of itself. And if you see a tension, I think we've both met managers that said, I reached my results, but my engagement is not high, or, my turnover is still high, etc. The two are not incompatible, and if you focus on the how, the what takes care of itself. So I really think that's really what HR needs to be redefined as well. Instead of human resources, almost humane resources, or resources for a more humane workforce. And I think each and one of our listeners, if they are in this space and if they are HR professionals, should be thinking more deliberately and more seriously about this, especially if it isn't part of their scorecard.
Yeah. And maybe with all the tools that HR professionals increasingly have at their disposal and the data, ultimately, if we can start to show to leaders that creating that more humane workplace actually leads to better business results and a healthier workforce, then why wouldn't we do it? So I guess that's a wish. I think we do see it in pockets of organizations but that could be a responsibility for us to take on as a profession, which create, as you said, those healthier, more humane workplaces, and actually show that it actually leads to business results as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no different in a way than when we read about the happiest nations in the world. You need reliable metrics, KPIs, and measures to actually make that comparison. But the drivers, the enablers, and the contributors of higher levels of happiness, whether that's Singapore, Denmark, or Costa Rica, have nothing to do with data and metrics. Have to do with how people behave, how they treat each other, and how they interact. So same goes for organization. The AI, the analytics, and the data are there to tell us what goes on and to tell us whether we're in the right direction or not. But the decisions, the behaviors, the motives, and fundamentally the relationships, they have to do with human factors, not with technology or data.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.